start with a little initial stage. So maybe the Fusion, what is the cloud, and what is the Fusion application is all about, and what is the technology stack used for Fusion, and what are the different domains are available, like supported in Fusion applications, and then we'll eventually move to the integration, why integration is required. This is something new. Integration was required in the past also for different legacy systems, but why integration is the main one of the main pillar for the Fusion Cloud implementation projects, I would say. That we'll cover, and then so today's session is mostly a theoretical session. So this is how today's agenda will be mostly. Okay, so let's get started. Let me give quick introduction about the Fusion application itself. Okay, so Oracle is there into the ERP domain from long time. We had Oracle 11i, Oracle 12. Now still Oracle 12 is supported. Now I think Oracle 12. I'm not very much in touch with that, but I think 12 2.4 or something is released a few months back, and that is now on the Fusion tech stack. But that is unlimited support is still available for the EBS suite. Okay, but Fusion application was something built again from scratch. The business wise, the business process flows wise and all, most of those processes are taken from the EBS and JD Edward and PeopleSoft. But the technology point of view, the entire application was again built wherever they could reuse the existing I would say the engines, the payroll engine, the general ledger interface engine, EP engine, receivables engine, they have used internally, but the overall UI part and the integration part and the application server, web server, everything was built from scratch or acquired and built on top of that. Okay, so it was intentional move from the Oracle looking at the future SaaS applications on the cloud, that market. Okay, and it took almost more than 5 years to build and come to a maturity level where you can start releasing the stuff. Okay, and the security was a priority as per my understanding when they released it. Now the security model is completely different than what we had in the EBS. It's more on the role based now. That's a different topic altogether, but yes, now it's not based on the responsibility and all. It's more of a role, job role, enterprise role, and that kind of security we have in the Fusion now designed. Okay, and have different deployment options along with that, and the base of all this from the technology point of view is Fusion middleware. Okay, this entire tech stack is built on Fusion middleware. The WebLogic server is what is at the core. And we have SOA layer, we have ADF layer, and now slowly we are also using the VBCS and JET for the UI part of it. Integrations, yes, mostly the integrations are done using AIA packages and SOA in the EBS zone, but those are mostly complex integrations which were required across different applications and not within the Oracle application itself. Now we can still use SOA, but the OIC is more preferred based on what the out-of-box functionality is available in the OIC. XML gateway was there. Now we have B2B adapter and all. So these are like common differences what we see between the technical tech stack used in the EBS and the Fusion. Okay. So, but if you look from the implementation point of view, right? Still, like the three core from the technology point of view, three core skill sets were required in the EBS was data migration, and then forms and Java, and then sometimes integration, but that was not considered as a core skill required for Oracle EBS implementation. We had separate team itself. They used to have, most of the companies, they will have their own separate integrations team, which but that was not part of the actual implementations. Implementations team mostly would consist of the forms reports, PL SQL, ProC, and then data migration kind of stuff. But now from the cloud point of view, you do need to have at least one of the skill set of if you are developer level, at least one of these skill set is required. Either you should know how to do the conversions, which is using FBDI, file, and there are different methods available for cleansing, MDM, and all those stuff. Or you should be a part of an integration team where you can do integration using different tools. Maybe it's a SOA, Java, or OIC, whatever it is. But that is one pillar. And third is reporting. Basically, all the financials reporting or custom reporting using BI Publisher. And fourth is your UI extensions, right? Whether it's a BPM, normal UI, VPCS, and all. But now, as cloud implementation projects are getting more strict deadlines and all, the skill set are like sometimes it's overlapped. You need to have multiple knowledge of multiple skills. Like if you are doing integration, you should need to have knowledge of VBCS because that is combined package. And also it's better to know how the functional thing works, how the NVIDIA works, so that you can design the integrations better. So from the architecture point of view, you need to have at least some knowledge of how the conversion works, how the NVIDIA templates are what all about, what are the business objects we can use, how to extract the data using BI Publisher, and in case you need to build the reporting dashboard or the exception dashboard, how can you use VBCS UI. So all these things, at least some knowledge of those technologies if you have, then I think you can build a solution a little better from the architectural point of view. Just to give a quick introduction about how the cloud layers are defined. Okay, I'm stay here. Okay, so now you have three different layers in the cloud. You have SaaS, you have PaaS, and you have IaaS. It's the same like what we have for other cloud partner implementation companies also, like AWS, Amazon, you take example, or Microsoft, or Oracle. So Amazon and Microsoft mostly started with the IaaS and the infrastructure service and the platform service. Very little applications are available in SaaS, but Oracle's main selling point is SaaS. Along with that, we have PaaS and IaaS. PaaS is more of platform as a service, which is used as a tool to extend your SaaS applications, and IaaS is more of infrastructure as a service. But I have seen as a part of implementation now, all three are mostly used as a part of a bigger implementation projects, right? Where the customer owns the infrastructure, public cloud, and then we deploy the PaaS on top of that, and then SaaS is what provision from Oracle cloud. Okay, so there's different kind of mixture is getting used now, like public plus private cloud. SaaS is on Oracle cloud, and then PaaS and IaaS you can keep the client can own it, customer can own it, or they can choose one of the option, whether it's a client owned or an anonymous cloud which is owned by Oracle, supported by Oracle. So there are different options available now. It's more mature than what we used to have a few years back. Okay, so if I go to cloud, right? So if you see now Oracle's cloud application itself, you have different pillars, like you have enterprise ERP, which covers your financials, what we used to call financials, Oracle financials in EBS word. Now you have HCM, human capital, that covers entire Taleo, recruitment, goals management, then your core HCM. So all different things are covered under that, workforce management and all. Then you have supply chain, which covers your manufacturing, logistic, OTM, WMS, Logfire, Oracle order management, CPQ, and all. No, not CPQ goes to the sales. Sales is your CRM, CPQ. So different modules and different applications which can run on their own has been built and supported separately. So now, as you see, these are different applications itself, and customer might have a requirement to take only few of them. Like I'll go for APAR, GL, and then HCM, and only for order management. So now these are different applications on their own. Oracle has provided inbuilt integration for few of them, but still, even if you take just Oracle cloud application only, forget about the legacy, still you need to have few integrations for the proper data flow between the system. So now the point of the context, like in short, if I state it, the integration is everywhere. And now if you want to deploy any cloud application, okay, whether because you have Taleo, you have right now, you have very niche products for every different requirement. Like if I want to do warehouse management today, I'll go for Logfire, very good tool. If I want to do what do you say, a dashboard or Amazon kind of a dashboard, I have to integrate my dashboard of a commerce management portal to my CPQ and then to the order management. Right, there are three different tools and UIs are available and applications are available. So some or other integration methodology is required to build that data flow between these three different applications. Right. So as stated on the screen, Oracle Fusion application and all comprising suite of Oracle applications built for comprehensive business. So that's what it's saying. Like different niche products are built and they can run on their own, but to pass the data, to push the data and to pull the data from these different systems to keep the data flow in sync, we need to have some integration methodologies and integration tools to achieve that. So that becomes the primary focus when you think about Oracle Cloud implementation project, right? So now I won't say it's just a tool or technology. It's more of solutioning. It becomes more of solution, right? We have 6 different tools. There are another 10 legacy systems are available. Now you need to build a solution itself. How this data is going to flow, what object needs will work, which application will hold my master data, which application will hold my transactional data, and how I'm going to integrate this different systems so I don't have a duplicacy, but at the same time the data is in sync from all these different applications, and I'm trying to achieve what for which I am like the cloud implementation, like Oracle or user has decided to go for the cloud, right? So some benefits has to come out of it. So at the solution level itself, it is very much required to understand the overall footprint, and then based on that we should decide what kind of integrations are required. Right? It's just not about the tool. What kind of data, where it should reside, those kind of decisions has to be made before we go to the designing part. That I'll cover again in this, but just to state why integration is required. So that's how the market works now. Previously we used to have a 3-layer structure, model, view, and data. Everything resides on one single machine. Like you have a database, you have a middle business layer, and then you have UI, which is your controller, and then you have UI. So that used to reside MUC structure, what we used to call it about. That can reside on single on premises, not even a single machine, but at least on the same location. So it's a tightly integrated. But now as we are moving forward in the market, right, now you have different application, and now going forward you'll have microservices and all the stuff. Very niche applications are built and they run on their own. So now these different applications need to talk to each other to achieve, like to provide the bigger picture, right, to integrate that data. So that's where the integration requirements are getting increased, and day by day new integration tools are coming to the picture. So that's where the integration is everywhere. So you need to learn at least one technology, whether it's a SOA, OIC, MuleSoft, doesn't matter, but that integration approach is based on what application you are going to build or deploy. Okay.
How it is different, like in terms of the financial domain or supply chain domain, like a procurement or HCM, right? Now compared to EBS, Oracle has in the WebLogic itself like different WebLogic domains running, and they communicate with some XML messages. Like really, data is not moving from even within a module to module. Also, they move some kind of XML messages or events, or like, and they get processed. The other domain catches those events and then processes. Do you know? Can you elaborate on that? Or
so yeah, so this different modules which are built by Oracle and which Oracle supports, which are not the legacy systems. Like if I say Oracle Order Management, Oracle Financial Cloud, the Oracle has built an internal engine using the workflows, event-based engine. So those are already, some configuration needs to be done using setup manager and all. So those objects will be enabled as a publisher and subscriber. So that once I suppose order management, your shipping is done. Now you are doing invoicing. So for that invoicing, you don't need that is defined as a part of your workflow, and the data will be sent to the Oracle financials internally. You need to do a setup but not actual code. So that kind of options are available for few objects. Yes, they do have. So that is internally handled by Oracle. You do need to do some transformation, but that is more from a configuration point of view. And we also have a B2B, again, not exactly EDI, but kind of a B2B using OGIS, what they call now, using what is that, the CMK format and all. But yes, there are options available now, and there are to enable this data flow between the applications. But not all the objects it is available for. But yes, there are, and we'll cover that as part of integration pattern in the next session. I'll try to give one of the example on that. Okay. Okay. So that is one aspect of it, integrating the different Oracle application itself. But now, if you really look for the different requirements what we get today, if you go for any cloud implementation projects, the coexisting existence is what the approach going to remain for next few years, at least for next 4 or 5 years. Even Larry also said the same in one of the open word session, right? Because you cannot replace all the existing application in one go, right? You will go eventually slowly. First you will introduce few cloud applications, and then you will try to integrate that with the existing legacy applications or whatever available with the client right now. That coexisting model will run for some time, and eventually when everything is stabilized, then you can replace other modules, and then you completely move to the a seamless cloud where the data is completely flowing between different cloud applications. But right now what we are saying is mostly it will be a coexisting project where you need to implement few of the modules from the cloud and then integrate them with along with the existing legacy application, because it's might possible that few of the modules are good from the other vendor, right? The customer doesn't want to forgo them, like, because they have already built solution around it, and they are looking only for the niche from products which they don't have capability from the Oracle. So mostly it will be whatever I've seen is mostly the coexisting approach. There are very few projects where the entire footprint is from Oracle. Only big client like LG, Sony, or MTN can afford that, where you are changing the entire footprint itself, right? So because the coexistence is the primary goal and primary approach right now, there are different requirements of integration that increases the complexity and nature from it. So let's understand now, as we know the problem statement, let's try to find out the answer, how to do the integration, how to go about it, and what Oracle recommends about it. Okay, so when we say about any integration, right, not just about Oracle Fusion, any two-party system integration, right, you have two different requirements. One is inbound and one is outbound. Inbound, from the Oracle Fusion point of view, whatever the data is going to come in, like we are going to import into the Fusion or we are going to push to the Fusion, that is inbound. And whatever we are going to push out of the Fusion, like we are going to export it, that is outbound. Okay, so there are different approaches you have to follow when you design the inbound flows and when you design the outbound. Different prepackaged design pattern solutions are now available, which we can download from the Oracle support, right? So those are available. Oracle has provided some guidelines, but those are like the sample flows which Oracle has given, which we need to customize based on the different requirements of the client. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. What is the inbound and outbound, right? Inbound means that other application makes calls to Fusion REST services to create or update records. Outbound means that Fusion Cloud makes calls to other applications to provide information to other applications. Okay, so you can use different ways, whether you want to use a PaaS platform or you do have existing middleware available. So that's tool and technology. It's all based on what client has and what client is looking for, how much is the budget, what is the overall estimation we are looking for. It's all depends on that. Okay, so but the patterns are going to remain same. Tools and technologies